guys, welcome back to the channel. Today will be a pretty fun video, but this is Brigham, by the way, and you guys, if you follow mine and Brighton's Instagram page, you know that me and Brighton both have Red Cat Gen 8s, and so mine is the blue one, but yesterday I actually painted it because it was starting to have like scratches everywhere. And so before, I originally painted this back part, and I missed a little spot right there, but that's fine. But I painted this back part in the hood and then left the rest blue because it looked pretty cool. But it was just starting to see some scratches, and so I decided to just paint the whole thing. And I took all the tow hooks off, and it looks pretty good now. I didn't really like the tow hooks that were on there, so that's why I took them off, but it looks pretty good now. And so we are going to take it on my course back there, and then you guys can see for the first time. If you're new to the channel, you can see for the first time the backyard course that I have made. And so it looks pretty awesome, and I'm glad how it turned out. So let's get up there. Today I'm using my small tripod, so I don't have to do one-handed, but for this part I am. But it's pretty easy. I can turn and then throttle. So this is the first time I've driven it out here, and sorry for the wind, guys, but this is the first time I've driven it out here with the new paint job. So this part right here used to actually be where that part is right there, but I've decided, because before this main part where my finger's pointing, all along here was the main like trail thing, and that actually was down there. You can kind of see how where the very first part I ever made was, but it's been since covered in rocks. And so that is no longer a thing anymore, but it's kind of, you have to go around here. But I've actually dug this down with a pickaxe and put bricks under here. So my truck just barely hits it, and there has never ever been any other crawlers on this to go under. So I'll have to see if any of my friends bring their trucks over. But yeah, this is pretty cool. And then I made that, and so I haven't really professionally like made it in. I just kind of randomly placed it, but I'm gonna have to fix that soon. So out of anywhere on this course, this is probably the toughest. I mean, it's not really hard because the truck can get up it, but it's probably the steepest hill climb that there is up here. So tires do slip a little bit, but it does come up here no problem. And then here is also another random thing that I built. It is just a little bridge. Well, it's not really little, it's pretty big. It's about maybe 4 feet long. And I built all this by hand, by myself. And it's the janky bridge because it is janky. And so it's just kind of cool, and I like that it's here. Getting a little caught up right here. And it can do it no problem. Right, just took the thumbnail, but the only part that we will not be driving on today is this part up here. So this used to be a full, like, functional part right here. There were boards, like wood boards up here. There's all type of obstacles. But I've used a lot of those stuff for different things. So I have not touched any of this up here for the past couple weeks. My guess for this is that this whole thing will probably be done by probably around August maybe, which is months away. But for now, like this whole entire hill, that's what I have to work with. So there's still a lot of stuff I can do. And even down here where the parts I've done a lot of it, I still have stuff to do down here. But let's continue along the path with my truck. So there it is there. And before, this part right here is actually new. I made this, I think, last week, but before there was a board. Actually, it was that board right there that was sitting right here. So this part was dug down. There was no like actual trail right here. It was just a wood board that went across this. And all these 2x4 planks right here actually made, which was a first thing I've ever made. I got just a board and laid them down. So it was kind of cool. And this was placed here, but we moved it and tried to make a rope bridge. And then I used those boards for that. And so recently I've dug this so that it's part of the trail and just put some random little sticks in there. So it's kind of cool. Almost fell there. I haven't come this way yet, so this is a first for me. But it can do it no problem. Okay, I'm gonna do this part one-handed for you guys because I'm not sure where to place my phone. But this is a really fun part that I made like weeks ago. So I'm gonna actually drive all the way down to the bottom and then turn, because the steering on the Gen 8s, unless you kind of fix it, they have bad steering. So we're just gonna quickly do this. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm doing all this one-handed, so it takes some practice, but looks like it's doing it. And it's so funny because this truck doesn't even look like the same car like yesterday since I painted it. But it's gonna be able to get up these bricks. So on this part you can do half bricks, like for your truck, half bricks or half rock. So I usually go all the way on these rocks. Getting a little caught up just on the little bump on the bottom, but once I get to this rock with all this little pollen stuff on it, I usually turn on to the bricks because, I'll show you guys, the steering usually gets stuck right there, but looks like it made it this time, but it usually gets stuck. And there's this big rock, so you kind of turn a little bit, and then from there you can drive all the way down. We're gonna actually head back this way, which the first way we came. So we gotta turn. And then this leads us to the bumpy logs, and this is also a very fun obstacle. I'm actually sitting down right now on these bricks, so this is good for me too. But Brighton also gave me these logs. A lot of the actual planks I had originally, but a lot of just random stuff like this Brighton gave to me, and a lot of built stuff Brighton was able to give to me, which is really nice because I needed more wood obstacles for this. But this part, truck usually slides. It's at the perfect length, so you kind of got to back up, and if you fall, you're falling all the way down the hill into the grass. And I can't risk cracking the back of my truck again because I found out yesterday that it's cracked, so I need to be careful. So let me show you this part. This was probably, I think, the very first area where obstacles were. So there was rocks right here, there's 2 flat rocks, and you could drive up on them. And I actually have a TikTok account for my RCs, and then you can actually see that there used to be something right here. Whoops, I just hit my tripod. So I actually took all those rocks out and kind of fixed this area, so I have more air, like more space to do stuff. And then right here you can come down if you want to. You can do a little bit more of one-handed driving. So we're gonna move on this way. So my truck clears this too. It actually has quite a bit of spacing, but I'm gonna just follow the truck right behind and you guys can see. So this part's pretty fun too. Me and Brighton made this part together. So there's more of these circular logs, and then there's a bunch of rocks. But this part I haven't touched in a while too, so there's some spider web starting to get formed. But you really got to be careful, because if you fall, you're going straight into the pokey bushes. So kind of got to be careful. Now it gets to this rock climb, so I'll go on the other side. So this part is interesting. If you can't tell, this is actually a pile of dirt right here, and this big rock was sitting right here, so I literally pulled it down once I made this. So if I kind of come down here, actually you can see that this is a pile of dirt. And we've actually found a horn down here, which is cool, but this part is awesome too. Oh shoot, I clicked back up. That's so close. I'm actually gonna grab it so it doesn't fall. That scared me. I pressed back up, which is not what I wanted to do. I'm glad I didn't send it off. So we're gonna pull him back onto the trail here. And in another TikTok I made, I've actually filmed this part too when it was first made. So this part's pretty easy. You just go up the rock and then it goes down here. So before I continue, there's my truck. This is the trail I'm standing on. So there's more plants growing, but you can either drive up this, which we're not going to right now, but we're gonna come down this. So this was also recently made. It's really awesome. You can walk all the way down this, and then this is probably one of the coolest parts because it's more green, but there's this big rock that we didn't want to move. So you drive down this, and then there's more obstacles. So we're gonna bring the truck over. Truck's way over there, but I'm going to attempt one-hand driving way over here, which could be pretty scary. And this part is really steep, because as you can see, if I hold it still, that's a steep drop right on this left side. So you really got to be able to drive your trucks good. See, I'm sliding a little bit on the back. I'm gonna kind of just quickly get down here. Once you get to about here, it's easier because there's plants, so if you do fall, then you end up just falling into the plants. So this is really cool right here. I've actually seen that all these plants weren't here before, but they've started to grow. So I think I'm gonna just keep them and let it keep growing so that the truck has kind of like a realistic little space to go on. So here's that big drop. I'm gonna actually set y'all down. This part kind of requires some two-handed driving, so I set you guys down. But usually when I come down this, I don't want to scrape my truck, so I slowly go off to this side and then straighten out, and it can usually clear it. Let's do a little bit more one-handed driving the rest of this way. So this is the first time I've taken it right here with all these plants that have recently grown. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how it does. So this part's scary because you can see how far the truck is tipping. But if you just slowly do it, it gets back on course. But we're gonna continue along here. So this is where a lot of the plants are growing right now. I'm deciding if I want to use this area for the thumbnail, because it looks pretty cool. I'm actually down here, and I'm going to use this for the thumbnail, which looks pretty cool. Alright, got the thumbnail. So as you can see, this is where my sister's room is, but it spans all the way over here. So I got the truck right up to this point. So we're gonna just follow it all the way. I'm literally just walking backwards as I drive. So I think we're gonna actually end off here. You guys have seen this before, but that's basically it. I would go up there, but as I showed you, there's literally nothing up there. But we're back to this area. I'm not gonna do this because I still need to fix it, but anyway guys, if you enjoyed that video, make sure to subscribe. And my truck is still way back there, but this video was actually really fun because I enjoyed showing you guys how much stuff that I've done and how much that like Brian has helped me with all this stuff. But this is basically like, this is what I do, what I've been doing for the past couple like weeks in quarantine.